as St. Joe's Prep go back into PCL play. They come in on a 4-game winning streak, 2-0 in the PCL, and looking to keep the momentum rolling in their first game at FDR Park this season. And it starts right now. Hawks baseball back here on WSJP. St. Joe's Prep, as I said, first game of the season at FDR Park. A beautiful day here in South Philly, right in my wheelhouse, if you will. For today's broadcast, I'm Ryan Sullivan, joined by LJ McKnight. LJ, how we doing?
I'm good, Ryan. How are you doing?
I'm actually doing really, really great. LJ, let's talk about this St. Joseph's Prep team. Chris Grasso on the mound here for St. Joe's Prep, getting his second start of the season. Last game for Chris Grasso against Bonner Prendy, he went for 6 innings with 12 strikeouts against one of the PCL's best, and now he looks to come back today and pitch another gem against Father Judge.
I mean, like you just said, Ryan, 12 strikeouts, one of the better teams against PCL he pitched against. Not to bring this Judge team down, but, they have one hitter that's hitting 357, and then the next highest two are 267 and then 222. They're not really, making a lot of contact with the baseball. So I feel like, obviously, University of Miami is going to just come out firing, not have to worry about anything.
Yeah, that's definitely some good points. Grasso, we'll see how he fares today against Father Judge. The Hawks, they were able to defeat Father Judge later last season on the Hawks. They were on kind of that roll in the later season stretch, but we're going to get the throwdown here, and we will get things started at FDR Park. No changes from the last lineup the Hawks had against Roman Catholic, but there is a change somewhat. Just one. Franny Seaman getting the start today in left field. We'll talk about him throughout the game, but starting things out today for Father Judge, it will be Sean Malone, batting .250, coming into this game with 19 plate appearances, 3 hits, and has been a magnet for walks. 7 walks for him this season, as Chris Grasso is back on the mound for St. Joe's Prep, and he puts that one in there for a strike. Got Malone swinging in the dirt.
That was just filthy, Ryan. I didn't really even get any time to see that. I saw it came out of his hand, and that just dropped right away. That was disgusting.
Good pitch from Grasso. Good framing from Iannacone as well, but called for a ball just a bit on the outside. We know Grasso has some very good off-speed pitches. We saw a lot of that slider in the last game against Bonner Prendy. We'll see if Malone can maybe make some contact off of it in his first at-bat, as Grasso has this one fouled off by Malone. We apologize for any technical difficulties on WSJP. Grasso got his first strikeout of the game against Malone as he puts the second one in there for a strike. It's 1-1.
Just got to keep getting ahead in these counts, Ryan. You can't fall behind, especially against a cold team. You can't let them get any momentum, getting ahead and getting some very hittable pitches.
Ball low, but still a swing. Another strike for Chris Grasso, but at the plate for Father Judge, it is Will Henderson batting .267 on the year. You mentioned, LJ, the second leading hitter for Father Judge in terms of average, but Grasso has him down 1-2. And he puts him away. Chris Grasso, 2 straight strikeouts. An 0-1's fouled off. It's 0-2. Grasso trying to strike out the side and then the top half of the first inning. As this one is hit into the gap in right field. Veza able to make a play on it. Beautiful play from Pat Veza, but a base hit for Gonzalez.
Beautiful pitching there. I think that was a pretty well-located pitch, but, just better offense there by Gonzalez. Just got to keep firing, though, if you're Grasso. Can't let it get to you. You have 2 outs here, so.
Once again, apologize for any technical difficulties. I believe in the bit of a pitch we were out for a moment, but we are back here. Man on first for Father Judge. Gonzalez thought about the steal. He held back as Iannacone popped up quickly. It is 1-0, though. Grasso, 2 strikeouts in the inning, looking to end it here in this bat. Dark is at the plate for Father Judge. Grasso puts it low and inside, 2-0. Dark in 4 games this season, a 167 average and 14 plate appearances, 2 hits on the year. Grasso looks back Gonzalez at first. Gonzalez taking a somewhat solid lead. Grasso looks him back once again. Likes the call from Iannacone. Gonzalez is going to steal as this ball is hit to Alex Orespi, who could not field it. Everyone will stay where they are. That is going to be a reached on error for Dark. And now McKay, who will be at the mound when the Prep get up to the plate, he now is up for Father Judge. Grasso now with 2 runners on with 2 outs, had 2 strikeouts to start this game. An unfortunate error from Alex Orespi at second base allows another runner to get on as Grasso puts the first pitch in for a strike. I mean, LJ, we already talked about it. That slider is absolutely insane.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much you could do about it, especially considering that he has a really good fastball as well. If you sit on the slider and it's a fastball, not coming close to contact, and if you're swinging early and it's a slider, I mean, good luck with that.
That one ripped to the other field here at FDR Park. 0-2 for Grasso. Don't expect Grasso to give McKay much to swing at. As we mentioned, Grasso, 12 strikeouts against Bonner Prendy in his first start of the season. Already has 2 here today, but he has to try and get out of this inning. And he will. Got him looking. Chris Grasso, 3 strikeouts in the first inning. Unbelievable. Chris Grasso. I mean, as you said, LJ, there's not much you can do. But the Hawks, they will go up to the plate. Iannacone, Veza, and Grasso will take the plate for the Hawks of St. Joe's Prep. And we already mentioned it a few moments ago. McKay, LJ McKnight, on the mound for Father Judge, who just struck out a few moments ago. And he takes the mound this season with a 4.67 ERA in 1 appearance and 6 innings pitched so far. And we'll see what he has to bring against a St. Joseph's Prep lineup that has been very solid to start the year. I think we talked a lot about how the pitching was going to be the main focus of the Hawks, but LJ, the Prep, a team batting average that being coming into this game at 322.
Yeah, Ryan, I mean, I think most people would argue that we probably have one of the strongest offenses in the PCL. I mean, I don't think that there's a doubt about it. And then our pitching rotation also extremely disgusting. Obviously, Colquhoun, Rupertus, Grasso. I mean, big 3 right there. Some of the best in the PCL. All D1 commits. I mean, it's this year. This is the year if you're the Prep for baseball.
Yeah, LJ, I think you hit it right on the head there, but the Hawks have been dominant when it comes to hitting. I think that's maybe probably the word you can honestly use for it. 10 runs against Roman Catholic and then 16 against the Hill School. And that was when the Hawks really didn't have most of their starters in. 5 against Bonner Prendy as well. So the Hawks, they are no strangers to getting runs. They have lacked getting them early, though. We saw against Roman Catholic, they really did not start to get most of their runs until around the 4th inning. And here is the throw down to second by Conrad, the catcher today. Emilio Iannacone now stepping up to the plate for St. Joe's Prep. Coming into this game, a .333 average and 16 plate appearances. Had an inside-the-park home run against Roman Catholic in their game on Monday. Iannacone, the primary leadoff guy for St. Joe's Prep over the past couple of seasons. And now he looks to get things going here at FDR Park. And as I said, in his wheelhouse, South Philly. Here's the first pitch to Iannacone as he takes that one for a strike. A bit inside, Iannacone waving it off. Doesn't really like the call. Okay. back to the rubber quickly. As Iannacone hits this one high, not too deep into right field. And the play is barely made for the out by Zedek. Iannacone, solid contact, just couldn't get on. Up next for St. Joe's Prep, it'll be Pat Veza. Veza, not the best start to the season, but definitely picked it up against Roman Catholic. 2 triples in the game, which earned him the game ball. Also had a very nice interview with Pat Veza as well. Great guy, as he now steps up to the plate for the Hawks. First pitch fouled back into the other field. We're at Dick Allen Field today at FDR Park. Richie Ashburn Field just to the left of us. Okay, once again, kind of quick back to the mound. As he fires, as Veza hits this one high, but not deep once again. And the play is made for the out in left center field. 2 outs for St. Joe's Prep. Once again, contact being made, but the Hawks have just not been able to get a guy on base yet, but it is still early. Chris Grasso stepping up to the plate now for the Hawks. Grasso, we just saw him on the mound, 3 strikeouts in the first inning. Batting .154 to start the season with 2 hits. First pitch to Grasso, very low, almost clipped him in the foot, but Grasso will stay at the plate as he takes the first pitch for 1-0. Okay, quick back to the mound again. As he fires, as Grasso sharply hits that one foul up the left field, down the third baseline as well. That was almost a double for Chris Grasso. Could have had a monster start to this game with 2 outs. Grasso hits that one into right center field. That might get down, and it will for a base hit. Grasso heading for
3.
second. He might head for third, and he is going to do so. Chris Grasso into third with a triple.
I think he was sitting on that pitch, Ryan.
And he was ready, and he smacked that one into the gap as the Hawks will try to get their first run of the game with Will Ward stepping up to the plate. Ward had a home run against Roman Catholic as he now steps up to the plate with a incredible .400 average on the season in 19 plate appearances. As he hits this one into left. This one is deep, but the catch is made for the third out of the inning. The Hawks, they get a man on, but they cannot bring him in. We go to the top of the second, and we'll take a break on WSJP. We will be right back. Back on WSJP, second inning action of Father Judge versus St. Joe's Prep. Chris Grasso back on the mound after 3 strikeouts in the first inning. Puts the first pitch low, 1-0. Grasso, he did let 2 runners on, but was able to get that third strikeout that really solidified his dominance in the first inning. As that one is right down the middle for a strike. It's Ryan Quinn up for Father Judge, a .083 average. 1 hit on the season in 5 games for him. Grasso puts that low and inside, 2-1. Grasso now delivers once again, and that one hit 2-3. It's going to be a tough play for Keenan, but it goes foul. Grasso trying to get another strikeout, which would be his 4th of the day.
I thought he had 2. Did he strike out the side? I think he did.
Struck out 3.
Yeah, I think he did.
He did strike out 3 batters in that inning. Did let up a few base runners, but we'll see if he can get that first strikeout and make it 4 on the day.
Oh.
That one was curved in there at the last moment, but probably not touched the plate. Full count.
Yeah, I mean, that's a difficult pitch to call, I feel like, especially 2-strike count.
Grasso puts it in there. Got him looking. 4 strikeouts today for Chris Grasso. Jackson Zedek now up for Father Judge. Zedek, he was one of the quarterbacks for Father Judge. They had a rotating system during the season, and he was one of them. And now we'll see how he fares against Chris Grasso on the diamond and in the batter's box. As that one is behind him, he has to take a seat in the batter's box. That one just got away from Chris.
Maybe a get off my plate pitch there, Ryan.
Maybe. Grasso will try it again as he gets him to check swing. Wow. I
mean, hey, look at. Now I feel like he looks intimidated in that batter's box after that. So maybe that was his game plan because he plays foot. Maybe because he's a quarterback. You know, they're kind of scared to get hit.
Oh my goodness, Grasso, another beautiful slider. It's 1-2. Grasso looking for his 5th strikeout already. And he gets it. Chris Grasso, what a start.
I mean, look at how behind. Look how behind Zedek was there, Ryan. He swung when the ball's in the catcher's mitt.
Wow, just wow. Grasso puts it in again.
It's getting into a rhythm now.
Seems like he is, LJ, as he tries again to strike out the side. Was unsuccessful in the first inning. As he puts it in once again, Chris Grasso. He is cooking. 0-2, trying to strike out the side. That one just outside, 1-2.
Already 30 pitches to keep that in mind, though, if you're the Prep.
That is true. Boley up for Father Judge. A 167 average on the year. That one low again is 2-2. Grasso, he thought he struck him out. He was walking to the dugout. But he's going to have to wait for at least one more pitch. Boley taking his time in the batter's box, not swinging at much. Grasso likes the second call from Iannacone. That one low again, 3-2. Grasso says, that's on me. Waves off Iannacone the first time, likes the second call. Grasso. The strike out the side.
Oh.
And that's going to be called for a walk.
I thought that was a clear strike.
Yeah, the Prep, they were moving towards the dugout. but they do not get the call. Foley on with a walk. Grasso's first walk today. The catcher Conrad is now up for Father Judge. First pitch to him. He hits this one sharply too short. It's going to be a tough play for Sittler, and he can't field it cleanly. It's going to be another reached on error for Father Judge, and we go to the top of the lineup. Malone is now up. He's 0 for 1 today. Complimentary runner on for the Crusaders. Grasso 5 strikeouts today, looking to add his 6th, but once again, just like in the first inning, has 2 runners on. Looks back at second, and he gets Malone swinging on the first pitch. Grasso's consistently delivered the slider and the fastball today. His bread and butter, if you will. Grasso once again taking a long look back to second base. He does it once again as he delivers. As this one is hit to third, Keenan has to slide for it. It doesn't look like he's going to make the throw to first. He will not. Bases are now loaded with 2 outs. Another mistake made in the infield by St. Joe's Prep. Ianicum will go out to talk to Grasso.
If you're Father Judge here, Ryan, I mean, their second best hitter, Will Henderson's up. He's batting .267 this year, so kind of concerning for the Prep. But Father Judge looking good here.
Yeah, you don't want to go down early if you are St. Joe's Prep. Father Judge already their second time through the order. Grasso trying to just get out of this inning as he pushed the first pitch in there for a strike. That's what you need if you are Chris Grasso. Needs to deliver strikes here early as he is 36 pitches deep in 1.2 innings. Another slider called for a strike. Henderson not liking it at all. He's going to have to step back into the box with 0-2. Maybe he will call time. It looks like Grasso, though, is ready to fire.
I mean, even if he doesn't like it, it was right down the middle there, Ryan. And I think he's mad at himself.
As this one is hit softly to Keenan. He loses it, but he gets it back and steps on the bag to end the inning. St. Joe's Prep get out of a tough one with no runs given up as we go to the bottom of the second. LJ, I mean, Grasso has been trying to let the infield work behind him, but there have been 3 errors today made by the Hawks.
I mean, non-Prep related, but Phillies are tied 5-5, runners on first and third. No outs and extra innings.
The Prep seniors actually got
And
that
Justin
game.
Crawford's not my favorite Philly.
Look at that. Well, the seniors today, well, not these seniors. I think some of the seniors, though, they were at the, they were there.
Justin Crawford walk-off question mark?
It could possibly happen, but most of the Prep seniors, if not pretty much all of them, are at that game today. I think most of the baseball guys, they were there, but they had to, get to this game.
Maybe they just went for the food, Ryan.
You know what? I mean, that's not always a bad option. I mean, the Phillies, they got some pretty good. They've had some pretty good options over the past couple of years, at least.
I mean, I'm like a Chickies guy, so I just go there.
Yeah, I mean,
and I like Menko.
I'm gluten free, so.
Oh, Justin Crawford walks it off for the Phils.
Well, there you go. Great day.
Justin Crawford walk off.
Great day for the Prep seniors at the Phillies game. You love to see it. As McKay comes back out for his second inning of work, and Father Judge, they're already their second time through the order, but McKay, I mean, you got to give him credit where credit is due. Only went 4 batters and gave up a triple to Grasso, but he was able to end the inning. And there's been contact made on all 4 batters, but McKay has made sure to keep the Prep out of the batter's box today. As we will get the throw down. And Jack Keenan will step up for St. Joe's Prep. Keenan, an interesting story. 333 this season, has 3 hits, but, I mean, he has gotten on 6 times due to either a walk or a hit by pitch, bringing his OPS to 1.044. I mean, that is just something incredible. You just don't see that.
Hey, you know the saying, put the ball in play and good things happen.
I guess that is true. And we'll see if he can be a leadoff today in the bottom of the 2nd inning as he takes the first pitch low, ball 1. And we mentioned he's been a magnet for walks this year, 5 so far this season. Okay, takes a deep breath as he puts that one in there for a strike. Beautiful off speed. Keenan steps back into the batter's box quickly after the strike. Same pitch, got him swinging this time. Keenan says, on me, on me. Keenan once again steps back into the batter's box quickly after 2 straight strikes. Okay, looking to get his first out of the inning. This one low and inside, ball 2.
I mean, if you're the Prep here, Ryan, I feel like you have to be more patient because, I mean, like we said before the first pitch, I mean, we're probably one of the hottest bat teams in PCL, so look for Father Judge, try and get them chasing.
Pitch right down the plate, got Keenan looking as he goes down on strikes. That is McKay's first strikeout today.
Well, I guess I was wrong, wasn't I?
Well, it's all right. But the Hawks, they still have been hitting the ball a lot. Maybe not early, as I mentioned earlier in the broadcast. We'll see if they can do it. Even here, Johnny Sittler, who has had a solid start to the year, a 444 average in 3 games played, and he takes that one very inside, almost got hit. Prep crowd saying it might have clipped him, but the umpire does not agree with that one. First pitch inside 0-1, or 1-0, I apologize. One out in the inning against the Hawks. McKay delivers that one outside. Sittler shaking his head as he exits the batter's box for a moment. McKay taking his time at the mound, waving off Conrad a couple of times as Sittler awaits the 2-0. Sittler swings and fouls that one off into the street. Hopefully that doesn't hit a car. There's a car driving by right there.
A few seconds later it would have hit it.
Yeah, well, lucky for that driver, I guess. 2-1 though to Sittler. Sittler hits this one to short. That's going to be a high throw over the head. And Johnny Sittler gets on, reaches on an error.
Put the ball in play and good things happen.
You mentioned that a few moments ago. LJ, it might be the genie of WSJP, or the wizard, I don't know.
Just make me president now, Ryan.
I guess we have to do so. But nonetheless, that'll bring up Alex Oresby. Awaits a call from the coaches of St. Joe's Prep. Maybe a possible steal or bunt for Oresby. We've seen him do it a couple of times this season. A 250 average with 3 hits on the year. And Oresby hits this one to right. The play will be made for the out. 2 outs now in the inning.
Franny Seaman.
Franny Seaman, you are correct, LJ. Franny Seaman has gotten in the game twice. He was a complimentary runner against Holy Ghost Prep, and he got the start in left field against the Hill School, and he now steps up and has been at the plate 4 times this season, has got 1 hit, throw back to first, Sittler in safely. Franny Seaman, 3rd team All-Catholic as a goalie for the Hawks. LJ, you're a soccer guy, you would know.
Yeah, I feel like he should have been 1st team All-Catholic.
Yeah,
Ryan.
you know what, honestly, I can't disagree with you. I really can't. But Seaman in that 8th hole spot today, getting the start at left field. That first pitch high to him, 1-0. For Seaman, also interesting, he does not wear batting gloves.
Yeah. I mean, I guess when you're like tall and lanky, like he is,
Yeah.
I mean, might throw you off a little bit.
Yeah, fair enough. Sittler, I think he's going to steal, and now he's going to be caught in a rundown. And he will be in safely. They say he did not get tagged out. Father Judge is dumbfounded in the infield. They're just standing still. And Coach Father Judge coming out to talk to the umpire, but for now it's going to be a Johnny Sittler stolen base.
I mean, and you just said for now, but I don't think I can see how this would get overturned. I mean, coaches can't overturn a call.
Yeah, I mean, there's not really any replay, so there's not really a way to tell. Normally the original call is what stands, but we'll see if Sittler is on. And he is called safe. Sittler caught in a rundown, and I thought that was the end of the inning, but I guess I should have never doubted him.
I mean, all the Father Judge fans and players disagree. And to be fair, Ryan, I didn't have the best angle, but I thought that he was out.
Yeah, I mean, from this angle, it kind of looked like they might have made the tag. You couldn't really necessarily see the tag. That's the thing.
Yeah.
But Johnny Sittler, stolen base. Love to see it for St. Joe's Prep. As Franny Seaman now has a runner in scoring position. It's 1-0 to him with 2 outs in the inning. And a time called at the plate by Franny Seaman. McKay still in his stance at the mound. Just a quick step out for today's left fielder, Franny Seaman. Now we'll see if Franny Seaman can get his first varsity career RBI. Would be a great way to start things for the Hawks. That pitch in there for a strike. A bit on the outside. But McKay gets the call. 1-0 to Seaman. Or 1-1, I apologize. So much chaos, but that's that rundown situation. Can't even remember the count. McKay continuously looks back to second. Holding Sittler on. Pitch way outside, 2-1. Good stop from Conrad behind the plate. Sittler has come across the plate 4 times this year for St. Joe's Prep. Now we'll see if he can get his 5th run of the year, possibly, if Franny Seaman can maybe knock this one into the gap. That one right down the plate, 2-2.
That was probably the best pitch he's going to get this at bat, Ryan.
That could be the case. Seaman now down in the count. We'll see what McKay delivers, see if he wants to give him a bad one to make it a full count. The Hawks almost through the order first go around. Hawks 1 hit in 6 total at-bats. Seaman fouls that one back. He's staying alive. McKay taking his time at the mound, making Seaman wait. Gets into his stance. Big intense moment already here at FDR Park. Seaman hits this one in the right field, a liner, and the play is made to end the inning. The Hawks, once again, they get a runner on, but cannot do anything with him. We go to the top of the 3rd inning with Chris Grasso retaking the mound for St. Joe's Prep. And we will see what he does when we come back here on WSJ. Back at it here on WSJP. LJ will be back in a few moments. Had to use the restroom. But nonetheless, Chris Grasso back on for St. Joe's Prep. On the mound, and he gets a beautiful pitch to go by Gonzalez.
That was gross. Bro, I feel like every strike he has.
Second pitch from Grasso in the dirt. 1-1 Grasso. We've seen a lot of pitches today where, some have been in the dirt, some have been beautiful, as he's up to 41 pitches already. There have been some errors for the Prep, which has made his pitch count be high. This one fouled off. Gonzalez 1 for 1 today with a base hit. Had that base hit with 2 outs to keep the first inning alive. Hawks were able to get out of it without any problems. That one very inside. And as I mentioned, we've seen a couple of them today. A few have just gotten away from Chris Grasso. It's 2-2 to Gonzalez. Grasso trying to get his first strikeout of the inning. As this one is hit sharply to Arespi, fields it cleanly, and makes the play over at first for the first out of the inning. That is what you want to see for St. Joe's Prep. They just seemed a little off in the first couple of innings when it came to fielding. But Arespi, who has an error today, first pitch in there for a strike. Next pitch goes to the backstop. 1-1. Swing and a miss. Beautiful. Got Dark to just jump out of the zone. Dark reached on an error in his first at-bat, trying to get on again. But Chris Grasso will shut that down. Another strikeout. 6 strikeouts today already for Chris Grasso. McKay, who has been on the mound for Father Judge today, now steps up to the plate. Grasso, quick pitch as this one is hit not too deep to center field. Kyle Allman sees it and makes the catch to end the third inning. Chris Grasso goes 1-2-3. A quick inning for the Hawks ace as we go to the bottom of the third inning. LJ, looks like the Prep's starting to get into their groove.
Yeah, Ryan, I would agree. I mean, if you look at the first 2 innings, I think Chris Grasso had around 40 pitches thrown, and then obviously now I think that was less than a 10-pitch inning, so that cuts it down a lot. So, I mean, for the Prep, it's pretty clutch. It saves probably an extra inning for Grasso there, so it's good to see it for the Prep. And we're having some technical difficulties here. We're going to take a short break here.
apologize for the camera problem here on WSJP. We'll try to get that fixed for you in a moment. You're going to see this keep popping up on your screen for maybe a little bit as we try to get that fixed for you. But 1-1 pitch to Kyle Allman, who was at the plate for the Hawks. As Allman fouls this one out of play on the first base line. One and two now to Kyle Allman. As McKay delivers. As Allman hits this one to short. Allman is fast. We'll see if he can get to first base. And the play is made for the first out of the inning.
I mean, Ryan, as we saw in the last inning, there was an overthrow by the father judge. I think it was also like the same play there, their shortstop, and like you said, Almond's pretty fast, so little shaky throw. I mean, almost had it there, little shaky, but nice play by the father judge first baseman there.
Iannico now up for St. Joe's Prep. First pitch in there for a strike. Iannico 0 for 1 in today's game. Next pitch in the dirt, 1-1. Iannicone hits that up the first base line, and that will get down for a base hit. Iannicone rounding first. He's headed for two, and he will get in standing. Emilio Iannicone, first hit of the day, and he gets on with a double.
Need that if you're the Prep. I mean, only one out here, Ryan, and it looks like we are going to have a pinch runner, but one out here. Trying to get some momentum here.
Yeah, John Weaver on as the complimentary runner for St. Joe's Prep. He'll go at a second base. Patty Veza now up for St. Joe's Prep. Veza 0 for 1 today. McKay looks Weaver back to second base, steps off the mound as Veza awaits in the batter's box. McKay ready to deliver. Veza calls time as McKay was awaiting to throw the pitch. Beautiful job from Patty Veza. Calls it at just the right moment. Veza still awaiting the first pitch. Weaver kind of just dancing back and forth on second base as Veza hits this one into foul territory. It's still in play, and it just bounces out.
Fortunate there for the Prep, huh?
Fortunate indeed, as this is 0-1 to Patty Veza. And 1 to Veza after the foul ball. As McKay delivers, and that one very inside, 1-1.
I wonder if the movement on second base is throwing him off, Ryan.
Possibly could be. Weaver just kind of bouncing back and forth.
It's also a pretty good turnout by prep fans, huh?
Yeah, very good actually. Got a very big crowd. Look at that. Kind of just looking to my right over here, you see that big crowd form as formed for St. Joe's Prep.
Now that the Phillies game's over, a few people have came.
Yeah. As I mentioned, that seniors had the day at the Phillies earlier, as the Phillies got the walk-off win. Love to see it there. Patty Veza 1-1 to him with Weaver off of second, and McKay just gets off the mound. Nobody was there to cover second. Claps from the St. Joseph's Prep dugout. They are loving it. One to Veza. This at bat is taking a while.
And we're only 2 pitches in.
Yeah, I know. And here's the third pitch as Veza fouls this one off 1-2. Veza making contact on the 2 strikes that have been thrown to him. One and two to Veza. McKay looking back Weaver twice. And here's the pitch. Veza once again fouling it off. A lot of balls have gone to Richie Ashburn Field.
Yeah,
It's
that
now
one
1-2.
that one into the other field, like you just said.
Yeah. Veza's been hitting for contact a lot this season. Most of the times he's been out, it's just been a lot on fly balls. He's not a guy that really strikes out much. As I mentioned, it's been a very long at-bat here for Pat Veza. That one way outside, 2-2. Once again, apologize for the camera difficulties here on WSJP. We are trying to get that fixed for you as we speak. Two and two, Weaver looks like he's going to steal it. He's just bouncing back and forth again, taking a very big lead. But here's the pitch. In there, strike 3 called. Got him looking. Veza not liking it at all. But McKay gets his second strikeout of the day. As Chris Grasso, who is 1 for 1 today with a triple, looking to drive in John Weaver and get the Hawks their first run of this game.
Ryan, this is exactly who you want up in this situation.
I think that you are spot on with that. Grasso getting encouragement from the St. Joseph's Prep dugout. First pitch in the dirt, 1-0. They're just trying to say Chris Grasso swung at the pitch, but he didn't. He did not. Infield umpire says that Grasso did not swing.
I mean, I would completely disagree. I think he was already out of the batter's box and taking a few practice swings, but
Nonetheless, still 1-0 to Chris Grasso. McKay once again taking his time at the mound, as he has done continuously here today. As McKay steps off the mound and moves Weaver back to first base, or second base, I apologize.
I mean, Weaver's been creating a lot of difficulty on the base paths, Ryan.
Has been. McKay has stepped off the mound multiple times, keeping him in the beating sun.
I think that was probably the 4th time. I mean, this is a really long inning, too.
Has been. After the Emilio Iannicone double, here's the pitch to Grasso, and he hits this down the third base line, foul. 1-1 to the Miami man, Chris Grasso. And LJ hit it on the head earlier. This is exactly who you want in this situation overall. Probably your best hitter. Grasso can swing for power and swing for contact as well. Have to assume here he'd be swinging for contact.
Yeah, 1-1. Just trying to get it in play.
McKay has been taking so long at the mound today. But it has been working as the Hawks do not have a run. And a throw back to second. Weaver slides in safely. And LJ, you talked about it, probably like the 5th time he's had to step off the mound today to try to get Weaver.
Yeah, Ryan, and that's his second engagement or disengagement. So I don't think. What does he have? One more left, I think maybe.
I'm not necessarily sure about the rules.
I think you get
About
3 in
how-
high school.
How much?
Could be wrong though.
1-1 to Chris Grasso. McKay fires. As Grasso takes that one for a strike. Grasso looking back, not really liking the call, but it's 1-2. Grasso patting himself on the chest as he is going to step back into the batter's box. See if McKay delivers that same pitch again, as that one did look to be on the outside. Grasso calling time, and he gets it. Grasso waits the pitch, and he fouls this one back. Chris Grasso this season has extended his hit total to 3 now and looks for his 4th on the year, which would drive in an RBI. As he swings that on that one in the dirt, strike 3. Throw down to first is made. St. Joe's Prep cannot score a run once again with a man on. And we now go to the top of the 4th. We'll take a break on WSJP. We'll be right back. Look at that. The camera's back here on WSJP. We were able to fix it just a few moments ago. Shout out, I don't know, shout out me. I don't know. I guess I had the idea to turn it back off and on, but I don't want to give myself all the credit.
I'll give you the credit instead of you giving yourself. Shout out Ryan Sullivan for fixing the camera here back on WSJP.
All right, I like that. Thank you. But nonetheless, Chris Grasso out for his 4th inning of work. Grasso delivers, puts it on the outside, 1-0. Grasso almost 50 pitches in 4 innings, so His pitch total in the third inning definitely helped him out, but still a high number of pitches for him in this game so far. Second pitch, they say a bit too high, 2-0. That one looked like it could have been called for a strike.
Yeah, I mean, that's where I'd say his fastball's been out all day, and it's been a strike all day. I mean, I don't know, though.
Grasso puts that one in the dirt this go around, 3-0.
All right, here we go, Chris. All the way back. All the way back.
Quinn, the shortstop, is up for Father Judge. He's 0 for 1 in today's game. He struck out in his first plate appearance. Grasso likes the first call from Iannicone. We'll see if it's a fastball here on the 3-0. Slider gets him the look.
I mean, I wonder if the long in-between innings has something to do with him starting off 3 balls.
That's possible. I don't know. I mean, the Hawks, they were out batting for a long time. Grasso puts it in there again with a slider quickly. It's 3-2. Quinn not really got the bat off his shoulders at all in this at-bat. And he will not again as Grasso gets him looking.
Yeah, he was not looking to swing, Ryan. He was looking for that walk after being up 3-0. I feel like most people do, though, but got to protect when you have 2 strikes on you, especially against a dangerous pitcher like Grasso.
7 strikeouts for Chris Grasso as Zedek steps up to the plate. And he takes the first pitch low and outside, 1-0. It looked like he was ready to swing on that one, though. Chris Grasso, as I mentioned, 7 strikeouts. Quinn has struck out twice today. That one way inside, 2-0. Grasso, we saw him start out 3-0 in the last at-bat, still was able to get Quinn out. Grasso once again puts it in. That slider has been absolutely dominant.
I mean, Ryan, I don't know if you've been seeing this, but I have been. It does not look like Father Judge swinging at any first pitch. I think they're taking every single pitch until it's a strike, Ryan.
Yeah, you know what? You're kind of right. Father Judge, they've been very selective today in swinging the bat, but they have gotten on base a lot here. 3-1 for Grasso. And that one in there for a strike. Great framing from Iannicone in the process. Once again, another full count, but this time to Zedek. Grasso gets another strikeout.
I mean, his ability to fight back is incredible, Ryan. See him go down 3-0, 3-1, doesn't matter. He's coming back and striking you out if you're not looking to swing.
That's 2 strikeouts on the day for Zedek, 8 overall for Chris Grasso. Quinn and Zedek have made up for 50% of Grasso's strikeouts. And he puts the first pitch in for a strike against Boley. Grasso, he has been attacking Father Judge all day. And he looks to finish this inning as this next pitch is inside, 1-1.
I mean, even though that wasn't a strike, Ryan, that was disgusting.
That was a very nice pitch, just a little more on the inside, and I think the whole crowd would have went nuts. In the dirt, 2-1. We've seen a couple pitches to get away from Grasso here today, but he has still been dominant on the bump, and he looks to end the inning once again and get the bats of the prep back up to the plate. Still a 0-0 game at FDR Park. Right down the plate, 2-2.
Got to protect here if you're Judge. I mean, back-to-back strikeouts looking. Didn't even look to get the ball off their shoulder there, so.
Grasso has it hit right to the mound and underhands it to Will Ward for the out. Chris Grasso once again goes 1-2-3 as we go to the bottom of the 4th. As Father Judge have a .083 batting average in this game against Chris Grasso, but the Hawks not really faring much better, LJ. A 182 batting average in the game for them. They got to start to get the bats off their shoulder. I apologize.
Yeah, and Ryan, I mean, even though the averages seems like the prep are doing much better, I mean, Father Judge has had way more base runners, though. There's a few errors, a few walks as well. So, I mean, if you're Father Judge, the hitting's not hot, but the base runners doing better than the prep there. So, I mean, if you're the prep, you gotta find a way to get a leadoff runner here. I feel like that's huge if you can. see if you can put a little bit of pressure on the Father Judge pitcher, who's been excellent today. But got to start the inning off with some pressure if you want to get a few runs, I feel like.
No, not many more guys to lead off in a better spot than Will Ward, who coming into the game had an impressive 400 average. Also hit a home run at FDR Park last season against Roman Catholic, and also had another home run at FDR Park again, or not FDR Park, at Roman Catholic, nonetheless, on Monday. The camera almost went out again. I apologize for that.
Let's just not touch anything,
It's just not the camera's day. It's not really the camera's day. We await the throwdown here. Well, it'll happen in just a moment. And there we go. Will Ward stepping up to the plate for St. Joe's Prep in the bottom of the fourth inning. He's 0 for 1 today, but as I mentioned, has been one of the Prep's best hitters. Definitely average-wise, he's been the Prep's hitter coming into this game, as he looks to be a leadoff for St. Joe's Prep. The due-up is Ward, Keenan, and Sittler. Sittler did reach on an error in his first at-bat, so we'll see how he can fare if maybe the Hawks get on early with Ward and possibly Keenan. First pitch to Will Ward, way outside, ball 1. McKay back out there for his fourth inning of work, as he puts the next pitch in there right down the plate for a strike. Ward just kind of nonchalantly walking out and back into the batter's box, realizing that that was a strike. Third pitch of the at-bat to Ward. That was a beautiful off-speed pitch. It's 1-2. Ward once again stepping back into the batter's box. Not really any reaction after every single pitch. That one in the dirt. 2-2. McKay in this game has not thrown too many pitches, to say the very least, and he's been getting out of the innings. The Hawks have been consistently getting base runners, but McKay has found a way to get out of the inning for the last 3, and he puts that one on the outside. Full count to Ward to start the inning.
Gotta protect here, though.
Gotta protect indeed. Ward, we'll see what he does. Has not gotten the bat off his shoulder at all. As Ward hits this up the third base line, and it just goes foul. We've seen that happen a couple of times today, and it happens there as well. Ward possibly could have been on with a single and maybe even a double if that would have stayed fair. But he has to go back to the batter's box and do it again.
Look on the bright side, though. If he doesn't swing, that's strike 3.
That is true. Conrad moves a little to the outside as Will Ward takes ball 4. St. Joe's Prep get a leadoff.
And now Jack Keenan is back up, so that's also big, Ryan. One of the better hitters on this team.
First walk of the day for McKay. Oh, that rhymed. And Ward gets on. Jack Keenan, who's 0 for 1 today, now looks to move Will Ward around the bases with Sittler on deck. Can feel St. Joe's Prep fans loving this so far. Nice bunt from Keenan. Throw to first. Not made! Boley had to come off the bag, and Jack Keenan on with a bunt single.
Put the ball in play and good things happen, Ryan.
Yep, I feel like that's been the theme today, as you've mentioned a couple of times today, LJ. And now Johnny Sittler up to the plate. Will get a mound visit.
Going back to what I said, though, Ryan, I mean, look at what happens when you get a lead runner on. It causes some chaos, I would say. I mean, now I expect another bunt, get the runners to second and third, bring up a recipe. We'll take another one of those deep fly balls to bring the runner in.
That's definitely, a good plan, in my opinion, LJ. And Coach Muth, I think he's going to bring on a complimentary runner for Will Ward. Yes, he will. It's going to be Colin Stoner. Stoner, first year on varsity. And Coach Muth bringing him in for speed. Stoner, 1 stolen base this season. So we'll see if he can maybe get his second. But the Hawks not necessarily sure if they're going to look for stolen bases here. It looks like they're going to be playing for contact. As McKay gets his mound visit with Conrad. As Sittler steps up to the plate. Maybe they will bunt here, LJ. We'll see what Sittler chooses to do or what Coach Muth thinks is best for the team. McKay, once again, as I've said so many times, taking his time, but now has 2 runners on with no outs, and as you just said, LJ, Sittler showing bunt, and that's going to be called for a balk. Sittler pointing it out, so did the crowd. Stoner and Keenan advancing bases.
It's big, Ryan.
That is big, and balks have not really gone the way of St. Joe's Prep in the past couple of seasons, but it goes in their favor there.
Does that count as a ball, or is it just an advanced runner?
Yeah, it's just an advanced runner here.
Okay. So now we want a fly ball, Ryan.
Now we want a fly ball. First pitch low. Sittler tells Stoner to hold it at third, and he does. Good blocking from Conrad, though, and able to stay on it. Sittler getting all the encouragement that one could need. Keenan on second. Stoner off third. McKay looking back at second. Not really looking Stoner back. Second pitch to Sittler. Takes that down the plate for a strike. Sittler just shaking his head. He just saying, you know, I saw one. Maybe I can knock it in next go around.
Just looking to put the ball in play again. Try bringing one of those 2 runners in.
Anything really in play would bring a runner in. Father Judge playing a bit in with their infield. Sittler steps out of the batter's box.
Pretty short lead at second base for Keenan, considering how in the infield's playing.
Yeah, it's a good point, LJ. Stoner not a big lead as well at third. But here's the 1-1 to Sittler. That one way outside, almost went to the backstop. What a stop from Conrad behind the plate. That might have been the play of the game for Father Judge thus far. A lot of intensity going through the air at FDR Park. No outs, 2 on for St. Joe's Prep. Johnny Sittler came back from a 2-game absence against the Hill School on Saturday. Sittler hits this one into left field for a base hit. Stoner will score. Keenan holding it at third. St. Joe's Prep have taken the lead.
Good base coaching there by Mr. Connolly. If he sends Keenan there, he's getting hosed. I mean, beautiful throw by the left fielder there. So now we have runners at the corners with nobody out, and the Prep finally get the lead that they've been looking for.
They have LJ, and now runners on the corners with no outs. Throw back to first. Sittler slides in safely. Alex Orespi up for St. Joe's Prep. Sittler just on this app, and that at bat, I apologize. His 3rd RBI of the season. Alex Orespi trying to get possibly his 5th as he showed bunt. Throw down to second. Gets into center field. That will score Keenan as Sittler advances to second safely. It's now 2-0 St. Joe's Prep.
I would have eaten that, Ryan. I mean, you have a runner on third, and obviously we just saw that wild throw brings a runner in. I mean, if you just eat that, you have runners at the corners.
And now Alex Orespi was showing bunt, and he fouls that one back. You got that, LJ?
Oh, no, Mark said that.
Oh,
yeah.
Mark said, I thought you said that. Oh, producer Mark Jameson might have that, I guess, then.
He was close. He was
very
probably
close. Just a couple feet away. Well, now Orespi, with the man in scoring position, trying to get his 5th RBI of the season. Had 3 RBIs against Roman Catholic. Calling time at the plate, does not get it. McKay just forcing Sittler back at second. He's done that a couple of times today, even when they're not holding him on. Alex Orespi, though, 0 for 1 in today's game. Had a fly out to right field, and that would probably help the prep here. Get Sittler to advance over to third, most likely.
Well, with the wild throw by the catcher, it takes the pressure off his shoulders to bring in that runner from third. So he gets to have a normal at bat here.
1-1. Orespi fouls this one out of play. Well, LJ, we talked a lot about the batting average of both teams. The Hawks were at 182 coming into the inning. They've now jumped to 307 in just a couple at bats. That's insane.
Yeah, and they've been batting around 330 all year, so it's right around their average.
Orespi calls time, and he gets it this go around.
Another long inning here.
Yeah, another long inning indeed. No doubt about it. We are in the bottom of the fourth, so we are halfway through this game. Been playing here for about an hour and almost 15 minutes. Sittler, see him off of second. Alex Orespi trying to keep the streak going of runs for St. Joe's Prep. They already have a 2-0 lead at FDR Park. McKay looking Sittler back at second a lot of times. And Orespi gets hit on the elbow there as he will take first base. Alex Orespi, he's been another one who's been a magnet to getting on base on those types of situations. He's been hit by a pitch 3 times this season.
That brings up Franny Seaman too here, Ryan.
And that does bring up Franny Seaman. 0 for 1 in today's game, and Coach Connolly going to give Franny Seaman an order. Coach Muth giving out signs, so maybe another possible bunt for St. Joe's Prep.
I feel a bunt coming too, Ryan.
Kyle Almond on deck for the Hawks.
Come on, Fran.
We know how fast Seaman is. We have seen him being a complimentary runner once this season for Coach Muth, that being against Holy Ghost Prep, where he did get a stolen base and a run in that game. Father Judge not playing with their infield in, so they don't necessarily see a bunt coming. But maybe Seaman will do it anyway. Seaman not showing bunt. He takes the first pitch high, 1-0.
I mean, you have the lead here, Ryan. Why not let him get a normal at bat, see if he can drive in a run without getting an out here?
That's definitely fair. It's definitely a good point. Might as well give him an opportunity, as he is one of the upcoming young studs on this team, if you will. McKay looking Sittler back at second, and now he's showing bunt, and it's going to be a good one just in front of the mound. McKay makes the throw over to first for the out, but it advances both runners for St. Joe's Prep. Now both runners in scoring position with 1 out in the inning.
Just what I guess the coach's order, right, Ryan? Able to advance both.
Yeah, that is what Coach Muth ordered up for St. Joe's Prep, as now Kyle Almond to the plate, and we'll see if he can drive in a run. Infield in for Father Judge. Going to be a at-bat where the Hawks need contact. And Almond takes the first pitch down the middle for a strike. Risky for McKay.
It's a pitch they typically will end up giving a deep fly ball. Now the Prep need second and third. They're able to potentially draw in another runner.
As I mentioned, infield in for Father Judge, so anything really in the infield is going to home. Sittler has some speed at third base. Off speed, high, 1-1. Orespi, another quick player for St. Joe's Prep. Almost had it inside the park. Grand slam against Roman Catholic, but was called out at the plate in that game. So maybe Kyle Almond can drive him in and make up for him not getting that run, but he fouls this pitch back. 1-2. Emilio Iannacone and the top of the order awaiting this at-bat from Kyle Almond. Would be not in the best interest of the Prep to have these runners on with 2 outs. I'd probably like to see at least one score here when bringing up Iannacone. See what Allman can do. The 1-2. Allman hits this one into center field, and that will get down for a base hit. 1 run will score. Arespi, he's coming home, and he will get in safely. It is 4-0, St. Joe's Prep. Kyle Allman coming in clutch for the Hawks.
And the lineup also flips over, Ryan.
This is true.
So potentially, if one of these guys get on, Chris Grasso will come up with runners on base.
So if the Hawks, yeah, I mean, you are right. If Iannacone can maybe get on, and he isn't there safely on the pickoff attempts. And now it'll be a mound visit. That will probably do it for McKay today. After giving up 4 earned runs, his 5th earned run, if it does score, is on first base.
Nah,
Maybe
I
they're
mean,
gonna stay with him for a bit.
I'm looking at their bullpen, and someone's getting loose now, starting to stretch, but I think they're going to try to get him through this inning.
Well, probably right there, LJ. They're gonna try and get McKay through the inning. Iannacone, though, he is 1 for 2 today with a double. Iannacone with Allman at first. We know how speedy Kyle Allman is, and he's going to try to get a stolen base, throw down to second. Out! From this angle, it looked like Allman might have got in there safely, but the infield umpire not agreeing.
I thought he got under that, Ryan. I didn't think it was that close. I thought that it was clearly safe, but
And he looked to be, but umpire does not agree, but his decision is final as Allman goes back to first. Iannacone going to have to adjust.
we're not umpires. We're just broadcasters, Ryan.
That's true. Iannacone swinging on an inside pitch. Okay, trying to get out of this inning, and that Kyle Allman out was definitely a great way to try and get out of it. Iannacone fouls this next pitch off. 0-2. One more for McKay to try and get out of this inning. A lot of intensity in the air. Iannacone takes the ball low and outside. 1-2. Iannacone, one of the best pure hitters for St. Joe's Prep this season. 5 hits that led the team coming into today's game. And Iannacone hits this one sharply to left field, and that will fall for a base hit. Emilio Iannacone on with his 2nd hit of the day.
I feel like Dark could have easily made that play there.
Yeah, that one definitely looks like that was going to be an out. I was ready to say that, that ended the inning, but, I mean, Dark, he just didn't get under it. Maybe he didn't see it in the sun. I'm not necessarily sure, but nonetheless, Emilio Iannacone on as John Weaver will come in for him as a complimentary runner. First pitch to Veza, and he hits this to center field, and that will also fall for a base hit. Weaver thought about taking third, but he holds it at second. Patty Veza, first hit of the game.
And Chris Grasso's back up, Ryan.
And that is where you want to be. If you're St. Joe's Prep, I don't think you'd rather have another guy on with 2 outs, or another guy up with 2 outs, I apologize. Grasso 1 for 2 today with a triple, and anything like that will bring in these runs.
And I mean, Ryan, going back to your point earlier about how low the batting average was, I mean, look at it now. Back up to 411. I think it was around 190 last time, right?
Yeah, that was
Back
coming
up
into
to 411.
coming into the inning. It was around that 180, 190 mark. Weaver off second. Grasso takes the first pitch on the inside for a ball. Conrad has to take his helmet off to make sure both guys stay at their bases. 1-0. Chris Grasso, Miami man, as we know, two-waying this season, arguably one of the best two-way players in the PCL. Trying to drive in these runs, and he hits this high near the warning track, and Dark makes the play for the out. But the damage is done. St. Joe's Prep have now jumped out to a 4-0 lead over Father Judge, and we will take a break on WSJP. We'll be back in a few moments. Danny Matthews on the mound for St. Joe's Prep. And Danny Matthews, first appearance this season, he was incredible. Went 6 scoreless against the Haverford School, and now he looks to relieve Chris Grasso as the Hawks have now taken a 4-0 lead as we go into the top of the 5th. First pitch from Matthews, swung on and fouled back. Conrad, he reached on an error in his first at-bat as Danny Matthews looks to keep his momentum going this season. Iannacone, I think he got clipped there a little bit with the ball. Might have just got jammed. The count is 0-2. Danny Matthews, 0-2 to start. Looking to get the first out of the inning. And he gets it! What a pitch! Danny Matthews, first strikeout of the game for him.
I mean, if you're Father Judge, like I said multiple times, they're not looking to go swing the bat, I feel like. I mean, I would say that's probably around their fifth or sixth strikeout looking this game. I mean, they're not looking to fight at all.
Matthews, another pitch, called for a ball on the outside, but Chris Grasso, in 4 innings pitch, he had 8 strikeouts. Did have a considerable amount of pitches, most likely why Coach Muth decided to pull him out of this game. But he brings in Danny Matthews, who has started off strong. It's now 1-1. This one hit straight to Will Ward, calls off Matthews, and he tags first base for the second out of the inning. 2 today, who just had that at-bat, brings up Henderson, who is also 0 for 2, and he hits this to Sittler on the first pitch. He trips, and he loses the ball as he was trying to make the throw to first base. So Henderson reaching on an error. That's the 4th time that has happened today for St. Joe's Prep.
Mets just lost, Ryan.
Well, that helps the Phillies. Look at that. And a pinch hitter coming in for Father Judge. Actually, I thought there was a pinch hitter coming in. They took so long. I thought it was a pinch hitter. Never mind. I apologize. Gonzalez is up for Father Judge. He has a single in today's game. Now with 1 runner on with 1 out. Danny Matthews trying to get back into it. Throw back to first. Henderson slides in safely. Matthews again, throw back to first. It's going to be a quick play as Ward cannot get the tag in time. That one was close. That pitch from Matthews in there for a strike. Beautiful framing from Emilio Iannacone. 0-1. Two outs in the inning. Danny Matthews trying to shut down Father Judge as he comes on, and he puts that one on the inside. 1-1. Would be great for Matthews to get out of this inning, and with no real damage done, not many pitches thrown. That one fouled back. 1-2. Danny Matthews, can he close out the inning here? Matthews likes the first call from Iannacone. Looks Henderson back at first. Delivers and puts it low, and it hit Gonzalez on the foot, and it will put him on first base. 2 runners on with 2 outs.
Cameraman Cristiano Forcine does not agree with that, Ryan.
Well, I guess he's got to go back, and we got to do the at-bat again. Shout out Cristiano, great job on the camera today. Dark is now up for Father Judge. He's 0 for 1 in today's game. He reached on an error as well. Steps out of the box quickly. Danny Matthews back at it. Didn't even get out of his stance. He is locked in. Looks back at second. Looks back again as he delivers. And he puts it in for a strike. Dark kind of stepped out of the box a little bit, which maybe prompted the umpire to call a strike, but it did look good nonetheless.
Yeah.
Matthews waves off Iannacone once. But he likes the second call. He looks back both runners. That one low to the backstop. Both runners will advance on the wild pitch. Now both runners in scoring position with 2 outs. Matthews and Grasso, no strangers to adversity. Matthews did not have much run support in the first game against Haverford. Grasso, he's had to deal with runners on base in the first few innings against Father Judge. Matthews facing the same problem here. There's the 1-1. That one outside, 2-1 now. Henderson and Gonzalez on base. Henderson on third, Gonzalez on second. 2-1. That one hit to Arespi. Trips, and he cannot make the play over to first, as that will score a run. Father Judge, they get their first run of the game. That is another infield mistake made by the Hawks.
It's like his third or fourth error today, huh, Ryan?
Yeah, it's unfortunate. 4 outs. Arespi runners on the corners now with 2 outs. First pitch, outside, ball 1. Good framing from Iannico. It looked like he wanted the call, but he did not get it. Matthews looks back at first. Now there's a steal to second. Iannico makes the throw down. Arespi cuts it off to make sure there was no steal home. 2-0 now.
Oh, Ryan, look. That's a Nationals buses right there.
Oh, look at that, yeah. Getting escorted back to their hotel room. That's pretty cool.
I think those are the players' buses right there. It's usually the middle.
That's pretty cool to
CJ
see.
Abrams, please come here.
That's pretty cool to see. 2-0 though for Matthews. As this one is hit into right field, Vezza makes the catch! Pat Vezza! Wow! Saving more runs from Father Judge. What a play from Pat Vezza. I think they're looking for his, for his glasses in the outfield or something they're looking for, but they make it into the dugout without a scratch. Patty Vezza. Wow. It is 4-1 St. Joe's Prep. As McKay will go on for his 5th inning, they are not putting anybody else in.
Yeah, no one's even in the bullpen either, Ryan. They had someone stretching, but no one's in there right now.
Yeah, nobody in there right now for Father Judge. Will Ward will lead off for St. Joe's Prep. As I mentioned, McKay back on for his 5th inning of work. And that's very interesting for Father Judge. He just gave up 4 runs in the last inning, but he has been solid nonetheless. And we'll get the throw down to second. Will Ward leading things off for St. Joe's Prep as they went around the order in the last inning. Ward reached on a walk in the last inning, which got the Prep started to get those 4 runs. Ball on the outside, 1-0. 1-0 to Ward. Takes it on the outside again, 2-0.
Got any plans for spring break? Sorry to cut you off there, Ryan. But you got any plans for spring break?
No, I mean, I've broadcasted 8 games in the last 9 days, or helped or been on the air for those games, so I think I'm just going to take a much-needed rest, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Ward swings through the next pitch, 2-1. How about you, LJ? Going anywhere? Going anywhere fun?
Tomorrow I'm going down the shore for a day. Then I have soccer tournament Friday.
Ooh,
and
alright.
then
Big time.
just I guess with my family for Easter.
There you go. Love to see it. Pitch on the outside, 3-1. Will Ward trying to get on with his 2nd walk of the day. Oh, has Mark Jameson got any plans over here? No, not really. Okay.
Oh, and then you're telling me to stop talking.
Dang. Well, LJ's got to talk. He's on color. But nonetheless, 3-1 to Ward. Pitch a bit on the outside, but still called for a strike. Full count to start the inning. All right, Mark Jameson's seeing family tomorrow, so that's all right. That's good. Some bagels? Ooh, okay. We're going to have to, you know what? Maybe a WSJP poll, the best bagel place in Philadelphia. Ward swings through the next pitch, strike 3, goes down on strikes as the throw around goes into the outfield. But Jack Keenan now up for St. Joe's Prep. Keenan 1 for 2 today with a base hit. Also struck out. Sittler on deck, who has an RBI today, so maybe if Keenan can get on base, Johnny Sittler can repeat what he did earlier in the game. First pitch in for a strike. Keenan kind of stepping out of the batter's box, not really liking the call, but you can't really step out of the batter's box. Umpires, they don't really seem to like that. McKay waves off Conrad once, and now delivers. Keenan just fouls that off, and once again a bit frustrated as he steps out of the batter's box. It's 0-2. McKay, even with 4 runs given up last inning, has still been able to pitch a solid outing so far. And now even doing well in the 5th inning. Might be a high pitch to Keenan. That one way inside. 1-2.
Come on, Jack.
Jack Keenan, I mentioned his on-base percentage being very high this season. And we'll see if he can keep that going, but he is down 1-2 in the count, and he swings through that one, and it will go out of play down the third base line. One and two once again to Keenan, trying to stay alive in the at-bat. Here's the pitch. In the dirt, 2-2.
All right, Jack, come on. Have you on.
Hawks batting average 368 today. It's a significant jump from the start of the 4th inning. The 2-2 to Keenan, and he hits this one into right field, and it will get down for a base hit. Jack Keenan's second base hit of the day, 1 on with 1 out. Johnny Sittler now up. 1 for 1 today. He also reached on an error. Also had an RBI earlier in this game, and as I mentioned, maybe if Keenan can get on, Sittler can repeat his actions from the last inning.
Respi's in the hole as well, Ryan. Obviously, he had that.
Sittler takes the first pitch for a strike, doesn't like the call. It was a bit high, but good framing from Conrad. But yeah, as mentioned, LJ Respi on deck. He's been very key to the Prep, getting their runs thus far. Has been able to advance some guys and see if he can do it again when he gets at bat as Sittler hits this one foul. A quick 0-2 to the Frostburg commit. Sittler patting himself on the chest a couple of times, trying to fire himself up before he takes this next pitch. Keenan leads off first. Not a big lead for Keenan. McKay looks him back and fires and puts it on the outside. Conrad wanted that call. He held it there for a few moments, but he did not get it. That was a gutsy look from the Prep starting shortstop. The 1-2, Sittler hits this one shallow into center field. And the play is made by Malone for the out. Alex Orespi now up for St. Joe's Prep. He's 0 for 1 today. He also reached on a hit by pitch. It was also one of the 4 runs scored for St. Joe's Prep. So a lot of stats today for the Hawks starting second baseman as Keenan is on first with 2 outs. That one hits Orespi again for the second time today. He gets on. And Alex Orespi, I mean, I don't know what it is with him and getting hit by pitches. That's his 4th hit by pitch this season. Now Franny Seaman up. He's 0 for 2 today. He was able to advance runners on a bunt in his last at-bat. As looks like Coach Muth, he will bring in a complimentary runner for Jack Keenan. and it will be James Fratt. Mound is it for Father Judge. We'll see if that does it for McKay today. I don't believe it will. He does have 2 outs. He's made it far in this inning, even with a lot of pitches thrown.
They do have someone up in the pen tossing though, Ryan. So
That is
Like-
true.
I think this is probably his last at bat. They might let him finish the inning if a run doesn't score. But I think if a run scores and if they get runners in a scoring position, I think it's his last at bat here.
Yeah, that's definitely fair. Can't see the number of who is in the mound currently. But Franny Seaman getting that start in left field today. We typically see someone maybe like George Van Deen get that sort of start. You know, Allman could play in center. Him and Allman kind of switch between center and left field. So
Cristiano just told me it's number 14 in the bullpen.
gotcha. So
Shout out Cristiano.
shout out Cristiano indeed. So Seaman getting that start in left field today, definitely showing that Coach Muth having some big confidence in him as we move forward in the season. Maybe we'll continuously see Seaman throughout the season. That was a tongue twister. Runners all first and second, Arespi and Fratt. McKay looking Fratt back at second, who's taking a very big lead. He's in front of Quinn, the shortstop. First pitch to Seaman, and he hits this one softly into center field, and it will get down for a base hit. Fratt rounding third, he will score. Arespi holds at second, an RBI base hit for Franny Seaman.
There you go. Get the run back. 5-1 prep lead now. Great piece hitting there by Franny Seaman. I mean, didn't hit it too hard to where it went to the center fielder. Gets by the shortstop and second baseman and drops for a hit.
Also, shout out to James Fratt, his first ever varsity recorded stat. As he scored that 1 run. But now, Kyle Allman up to the plate. Has 2 RBIs on the day. He's 1 for 2. And they keep McKay in there, LJ. Allman tried to call time. Umpire does not let it happen as he takes the first pitch for a strike. Allman swinging his bat a couple of times in front of him in the batter's box. Kind of deep into that batter's box as well. McKay really taking his time. Allman calls time, and he gets it this go around. Claps from the dugout and the bench. And the crowd that we've talked about. Very big crowd for St. Joe's Prep. To Allman. McKay still not in a hurry as Allman takes a gutsy look and gets the call. 1-1 to Kyle Allman.
I mean, if he gets on here, the lineup flips back to the top. And they've been doing some damage today here, Ryan.
Yeah, Anacone 2 for 3 today. I apologize. And Veza 1 for 3. So it'd be great to see them get back up. Allman takes that one on the inside. It's now 2-1. Or 3-1, actually. I apologize. Umpire called 3-1. I thought it was 2-1 up here at the WSJP table, but
Hey, we'll take it, Ryan.
yeah, I mean, there's no complaints up here, I guess. McKay continuously looks back at second as he delivers and puts it in there for a strike. 3-2 to Kyle Allman with 2 outs in the inning. McKay trying to get out of it. Full count to Kyle Allman with 2 outs in the inning. Runners off first and second. That one in the dirt. Ball 4. Take your base, Kyle Allman. The Hawks now with bases loaded, and Emilio Iannicone stepping up to the plate. And I don't know, that is going to do it for McKay, as he had now his bases loaded, and Iannicone has gotten 2 hits off of him today. Probably the best decision. And yeah, that will do it for McKay. So we'll get a pitching change, and we'll take a break on WSJP for the pitching change. We'll be right back. Anthony Thompson on the mound for Father Judge, an 8.75 ERA in 2 appearances this season, as Iannicone softly hits this one into right field. And the play is made for the out. 1 pitch ends the inning for Father Judge. We go to the top of the 6th. And we'll take another short break here on WSJP. We'll be back in a few moments.
All right, here we go, defense. Here we go.
Danny Matthews on for a second inning of work here at FDR Park as he delivers the first pitch and puts it on the outside, 1-0. Quinn is up for Father Judge, and he struck out in his first 2 plate appearances to Chris Grasso, and now has to deal with Danny Matthews and pitch kind of right on the same spot on the outside, 2-0 now. Same spot, same result, 3-0 to start the at-bat. Matthews puts it in this time for a strike, 3-1. And LJ, we saw a couple times, you know, Grasso put guys down 3-0 and got back into the count and struck him out. Danny Matthews trying to replicate that as this one is fouled back. Full count to start the inning. That one,
I almost called that, Ryan.
oh yeah, really, me too. And that one just
That was
rolled.
actually really close, bro.
That was very, very close. It was very, very close. 3-2. Got him on the check swing. Danny Matthews gets the first out of the inning.
If that ball was like 2 feet closer to me, I'd have caught that. Like,
Yeah.
I almost had that, Ryan. That's actually crazy. I almost got hit, too.
Yeah, you really did. And now, coaching staff of Father Judge arguing that he did not swing.
Well, he's not going to change his mind.
Yeah, Quinn, as of now, down on strikes for the 3rd time today. Well, call is going to stand nonetheless. That will bring Zedek up. Danny Matthews coming down from a 3-0 count. First pitch to Zedek. Low. Good stop from Iannicone. Even though there's nobody on base, it's 1-0. Matthews. Puts it high. Good framing from Iannicone, but 2-0 again. Maybe he just needs to go 3-0 every time. I guess not. All right. 2-0 to Zedek.
At least you tried.
I guess so. Got him to swing through that one. 2-1. Danny Matthews, as I mentioned, started in the game against the Haverford School. Comes on to relieve here today, and he puts it in for a strike. 2-2. Danny Matthews fighting down from 2-0, trying to get his second strikeout of the inning. Danny Matthews lasers it forward, and it is fouled off. Coach Muth bobbling the ball just in.
What a play.
Just out of play, and he maybe he can get out there, play second base a little bit, shortstop, you know. I don't know what position Coach Muth played.
At least you're trying there, Ryan.
Well, you know what? I think that. Who's to say Coach Muth can't hit?
Keeping me entertained.
Thanks, LJ. I hope I'm keeping the audience entertained. 2-2. Zedek hits that one foul. I'm keeping Mark Jameson entertained as well. I hope I'm keeping Cristiano entertained over there.
He has his phone.
Oh, well, all right. Yeah, you can't hear. He doesn't have a headset. 2-2 though. Matthews puts it high, full count. Matthews got the strikeout in the first full count against Quinn. Trying to repeat the same. As this one is fouled back again, give credit to Zedek as he is staying alive. Might see something right down the plate here for Danny Matthews. Hawks do have a considerable lead, 5-1. Something in play. Could be worth it, but Danny Matthews puts it low and strikes him out.
Not down the middle, but that does not matter. Curveball is disgusting there by Danny Matthews to get the strike 3.
3 strikeouts today for Zedek. I'll bring up Boley, who's 0 for 1 today, but he reached on a walk. As this one is hit straight to Jack Keenan, fields it cleanly, makes the throw over to first for the out. Danny Matthews goes 1-2-3 to end the top half of the inning, and we go to the bottom of the 6th. LJ, the Hawks.
One more inning, Ryan.
Yeah, one more total inning needed in this game. You know, LJ, the Prep, they've gotten these runs, but now it feels like you kind of just want to maybe get to that 6th inning and get this game done.
Yeah, I think they're trying to get out of here, Ryan. I think you mean the 7th inning. Because right now it's the
sorry.
6th and the
I
next is
apologize.
the 7th.
Yeah, that is true. That is
So we're like
factual.
on the verge of the 6th and then 7th.
Yes, that is factual, LJ. That is very factual. Thompson back out there to pitch for the 2nd inning, or his 2nd inning of work. Well, not really. I mean, you have .1 innings pitched. Do you pluralize that innings or inning? It's just .1 inning. That doesn't sound right, but it probably is real, right?
Well, probably. I think it's .1 innings.
Yeah, I would think so. But he comes out there for what he looks to be a complete inning of work at FDR Park, and we have a lot coming up on WSJP after the spring break. The PIAA now allowing teams to play or practice during the spring break, which consists from, really starts tomorrow and ends on Easter Monday. Hawks, they did have that game last year against Bishop Eustis on Easter Monday. That was a fun one, but the Hawks, they didn't win that one, but it was nice to go out there. But nonetheless, we will be back next Tuesday, baseball 4 p.m. at Lansdale Catholic. Myself, Mark Jameson, on the call for that one. And then next Wednesday, lacrosse versus Lansdale Catholic at the Croc, 4 p.m. Myself, Sam Salomon, on the call. And then next Thursday, 4 p.m. back here at FDR Park against Conwell Egan. And the lacrosse team, they're actually getting ready to face off right now against Cardinal O'Hara. That being at Cardinal O'Hara, so stay up to date with everything St. Joe's Prep Lacrosse on their Instagram page just to get the final score and everything there. But make sure you subscribe to WSJP if you like what you're seeing here on St. Joe's Prep content, and make sure to follow us on X and Instagram at SJP Broadcast and to stay up to date with everything St. Joe's Prep Sports. Patty Vezza coming up to the plate for St. Joe's Prep, and he has been a gem today for the Hawks, has made contact in all 3 at-bats, and has also drilled in a hit. He is 1 for 3 today. Thompson's 2nd inning of work as Vezza fouls this one back and out of play. Richie Ashburn Field has gotten a lot of souvenirs today. They're definitely going to need somebody to go out there and get those balls, because there's been a lot of them. Second pitch to Vezza as he lines that one foul. Almost hit the parents. Quick 0-2 to Pat Vezza. As I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, Vezza got the game ball against Roman Catholic for the 2 triples that he had on Monday. Looks to make it a 2-for-4 day against Father Judge as Vezza fouls that one off again. Looked to be a bit on the outside, but Vezza makes contact. He kind of smiles at that one. Probably knows he should have maybe looked at that. To the Vezza. As he softly hits that one to second. Play at first is going to be made. Great job from Thompson to get to first base and gets Vezza out. Grasso now up. He's 1 for 3 today with a triple. First pitch to Grasso. Looks at that one for a strike, and he does not like that one at all. Leaves the batter's box, giving a weird look to the umpire. Grasso looks at that one again, and it's 1-1. Good framing, though, behind the plate by Conrad. One and 1 to Grasso. Off speed, low, 2-1. The freshman team looks like they got done their game. I guess they played here. I don't know. How did they play? I don't know if they played at Richie Ashburn, but some of the freshman guys are here after their game. 2-1 to Grasso. that one very high, 3-1. Thompson taking his time at the mound, takes a deep breath, and now fires. And it gets Grasso swinging in the dirt. It's now a full count. Grasso did not swing at the off speed earlier in the at-bat. Gets him to swing that go around. Grasso trying to get on with one out. Thompson looks, deals. As he gets Grasso to look at that one. Same pitch, different result. Chris Grasso on with a walk. Looked like Grasso might have swung at that one. But a great look from the Miami man, Chris Grasso. Will Ward up to the plate, 0 for 2 today with a walk. Ward on the first pitch hits this one in play, and the play will be made for the out. Throw back to first! Double play. Grasso was looking to maybe get to second. He thought the ball was going to be dropped. It ended up costing him, and that will end the inning. We go to the top of the 7th. One more to go for St. Joe's Prep. And we'll take a break on WSJP. We'll be right back. One more for Danny Matthews and St. Joe's Prep. And the first one is a strike. The due-up is Conrad Malone Henderson, so 9-1-2 for the Crusaders as they try to will themselves back into this game. But Danny Matthews looks like he has something to say about it. It's now 0-2.
Yeah, I mean, when you're up 4 in the bottom, obviously last inning, then worst comes worst, you get the bat again, but just tell them to go out and fire strikes.
Matthews puts that one in the dirt, 1-2. On the off speed. Matthews not giving Conrad anything to look at on the last pitch, and he fouls this one back. We're lucky to not have hit a car today.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably, what, 20th around,
Well,
25 balls back there?
Well, if Mark Jameson would have made the catch, we wouldn't have had to worry about that.
I mean, it was close.
Matthews not able to get the strikeout there as Conrad fouls it back.
Mark Jameson's arm was maybe like 50 feet longer, he would have had it,
I
Ryan.
think it honestly might have had to been longer than that. How far do you think we are from like where that was fouled off?
Like 50 feet, that's why I
Maybe.
said 50 feet.
Well, I don't think it's 50 feet. I think it's a little longer than that. 2-2 though to Conrad. Matthews puts it in for a strike as Conrad hits this into left field. Play is made for the out. Malone now up. He's 0 for 2 today. He reached on an error as well. First pitch from Matthews in the at-bat, and he puts it in for a strike. Danny Matthews trying to end this one for St. Joe's Prep with just 2 pitchers thrown. And he almost hit Malone. That one might have even skimmed him, and it actually did. As Malone will get on with a hit-by pitch.
Mark Jameson did not see that hit him, Ryan.
Coach Muth not going to put too much thought into it. Goes back to the dugout as Henderson will now come up for Father Judge. That one was a later call from the umpire, but nonetheless, it does get Malone on. Matthews does have 1 out to work with and a 4-run deficit, so not the end of the world for him. Throw back to first. Malone slides in safely. Timeout called at the plate by Henderson. Henderson, as I mentioned, 0 for 2 today. Reached on an error as well. He's also struck out. Danny Matthews would love to replicate that here. Another throw back to first! And they got Malone! The Prep have continuously tried to get the pick off, and they successfully do it there. 2 outs in the inning.
And with that, Ryan, I mean, that just tops off today's afternoon. I mean, the Preps defense had a few errors, but then from, I would say, the second innings forward, it's been very sharp, Ryan.
This possible final out, I think, would definitely top off the afternoon for St. Joe's Prep as Danny Matthews puts the first pitch into Henderson for a strike. Second pitch, low, ball 1. Third pitch of the at-bat, fouled back. One more pitch for St. Joe's Prep. And just by the luck of I don't know what, it doesn't hit a car again. Look at that. Danny Matthews. One more. As this one is hit into right field, Veza backing up on it and makes the catch. St. Joe's Prep, 3-0 in the PCL. 5-game winning streak for the Hawks. Just wow, the Hawks of St. Joe's Prep. They're on a roll. Chris Grasso, 8 strikeouts today for him in his outing. The Hawks with an average of 375 on the day, 9 total hits for St. Joe's Prep, and you love to see it for the Prep. They'll be back next Tuesday at Lansdale Catholic, 4 p.m. We'll have that game live for you on WSJP. St. Joe's Prep, 5-1 victory over Father Judge here at FDR Park in South Philly. From myself, Ryan Sullivan, my color analyst, LJ McKnight, our producer, Mark Jameson, and our cameraman, Cristiano Forcino, we say thank you, have a good Easter, and go Prep.